There's no chat.
Oh, gotcha.
I don't like these windows. You're still gonna have to use your tablet because you can't see very much here.
Oh yeah, give me the tablet. It's over there.
Is it charged?
Should be. I haven't used it. Phone.
Can you hear me? Yes, I can see the audio mix. We are testing an image. What do you call it?
OBS.
Yeah, but it's for controlling the images. It's not a real live.
Yeah, we're just testing.
Just making sure that you guys can see.
Unfortunately, with loud music in the background.
Yeah, the neighbors have a unfinished project. Mark, Johnny, Mike, Jay. We're just testing this software to make it a better live for you guys when we go live on Saturday. But the neighbors have music on. I'm sure you can hear it, and we cannot do anything about that. Yeah, she's here too. We're trying to. And your head says low volume.
Oh, okay. Hold on 1 second.
Maybe we can adjust that.
Better?
Is that any better? Is that any better? Your head, Mark. Hey, Mike. Hey, Lone Wrench. You never came back on your live. I was looking for it. What did you pick up that vehicle?
I can't see it here. Let me go mine.
He says the audio. Mark says the audio is getting there. Can't hardly hear him. I have the microphone right up to my mouth. Almost. It's better?
Okay.
Can it go up higher than that?
No.
It's as high as it goes. I have the microphone right up to my mouth.
It might be the microphone itself. That's as high as it goes.
Well, maybe the microphone is blocking out that crappy music next to it.
Yeah. But that's what they're seeing. Can you see? Hold on.
Yeah, I can. Let me see what they're seeing now.
They're literally just looking at the images.
Okay. That'll work. Why is it so far behind though? Yeah. Lauren says, I tried YouTube Gremlins. I started it up the second time, overheated, booted me out. Yeah, we have that problem here too. The sun is so intense here that on our 6-hour live, Mrs. Spec had to put the camera back more towards her, shooting out the window, so the sun wasn't beating on it. That was the only way we didn't overheat. Bought a car, turned out to be an expensive trip. I had to buy a new tailgate for my daily driver now. Oh, you damaged it on the trip? I have a story like that. We took the Ormiga up to the border, and I backed it into an alternator place so they could weld the taillights back in because the taillights flew off in the wind. And I'm not talking about just taillights. They were bolted to a piece of metal on each side. The piece of metal came off, and it was a folded piece of metal, and I don't know why, but the wind blew the taillights off. So I backed it in, and the guy's welding on it, putting them back on the truck, and he says, "Hey, can you move it out to the street? I'll finish out there." So as I'm moving it out to the street, I ripped the rear bumper off a Honda Civic. So that cost me 3,000 pesos to get that fixed. He didn't charge me for the work he did putting the taillights back on though. So that's good. But the welding on one of the taillights burned out the LED circuit or whatever, so the right taillight didn't work when the customer took delivery of it. So, no, Jay, we're not going to do that. We're never going to do that. We're not going to turn the camera around to us.
We don't have a camera.
You get to look at cars. We're not on a phone anymore, Lone Ranch. We have the laptop with the program in it, and we have the microphones plugged into the laptop, and that's what we're using. I can see the I can see the bars going across. This is the same program that Buff Del Campo uses, and it works really well for him. I can see the graph moving over as I'm talking. So, and we have a tablet here with the live on it too, and on Mrs. Spec's phone. So we're testing all this stuff. Well, you may be hearing the music, Lone Ranch, that's next door. Hey, Tavo. Welcome to our testing of software to make our lives better for you. I think it would be better to have horizontal pictures than the vertical, because it doesn't take up much room. Can you put the chat down and see? No, on your phone. Oh. Okay, the pictures look small to me.
Yeah.
But, well, I don't know what we're all the way up on sound on this program, and I have the microphone right in front of me. No, they will be camera shy. All of them. All of her friends are camera shy. And they're not here anyway. But hopefully this will be better. We're not going to have music next door. Maybe the microphones are blocking out that. I don't know. But I'm seeing the graph. It's moving. There's a green graph that goes over, and then a black line playing in that green. So who knows? But we'll do whatever we can to make it sound better for you. Usually I have the microphone right here on my shirt. Is that any better? Or should we yell like Mrs. Spec always tells me not to do?
No.
It sounds tinny. Does it sound tinny?
Like you're talking from a tin can.
Does it sound tinny? Is that better or is this better? Near the shirt, farther away.
I actually sound better than you.
Right there.
And I'm farther away.
Maybe something's picking up it over here instead of this. But you're closer to the laptop too. Maybe the laptop has a microphone on it.
The laptop does have a microphone. Hold on.
Hey,
1 second, guys.
John Wilburn.
Hold on, guys.
Why are so many of you coming in here just for a test?
Okay.
Is that any better?
Can you guys hear us?
Is that any better? Hey, Zero. We're just testing some software so you guys can see the images better instead of the phone recording the television and because it looks bad that way.
You're saying it's better.
It's better without the microphone, just like in the vehicle. So these microphones are picking up, like in the truck, they're picking up ambient sound and cutting out what we're saying.
I do have other microphones. I'm looking at the other microphones, but
there's some really nice safaris here, Lone Ranch. We call them safaris. Hey, Ken, Mean Street Mopar. Yeah, I've got a guy that wants the yellow one that was a little bit earlier. And he goes, hey, can we lower the price because it doesn't have the emblem on the front? I'm going to tell him, no, we can't. It's the cheapest one you're ever going to find. They're between $15,000 and $20,000 in the U.S. And I could get him that one for like maybe 11, I think. I definitely will not drive it on the highway though. Uno! Look, Uno's here and you don't have the picture of the...
I do too!
You want to show it? Can you show it?
I can try.
Hey, we have a picture of Quesaveria Uno. We specifically took it last week when her friend ordered it at the place. But it's on your phone.
No.
There it is. There it is, Uno. Quesaveria.
Okay, can you see it?
Yeah, it's here. Can you see it?
Yes. Okay.
That's what you're talking about. It's like goat meat in taco shells.
They're not tacos. Well,
they are. Look,
but the taco shell is softer and it's coated in the meat juices.
Okay, well, so you get extra meat. Well, apparently, Zero, the microphones aren't working, so we're just gonna have to go with the microphone that's on the laptop. So we're both gonna have to be sitting close to that.
Well, it's picking you up pretty well, so you can consider be sitting further away.
Yeah, well, it's all up to them. They have to hear us over all the noise.
We actually, hold on, let me, 1 second. We do not need this one. We can put this one here. A second. A second. If you will let me. Let me put it.
Oh, that's better.
No.
Oh, yeah, it's wider. We can see
Yeah,
more
yeah,
of the...
but I want to put it here.
That blue one, Lone Wrench, is going to be a lot. I can look it up. I gave the guy the... You want to send me an email? I'll send you the price. And I'll send you the pictures of the yellow one. The yellow one is nice, but it's been like 3 years since they published it, so I asked for some new pictures. They sent me new pictures, because it's still available. But, you know, I have to question how old are the tires and all that, but it's going to be transported to my location, and I put it on a trailer and take it to the border. So, yeah, it's not going to be a whole lot of driving around. Luckily, I have an old school mechanic that can do anything on those Type 1 engines. So, you know, we'll check it over, make sure it's good before going over there. I mean, on here, we don't really need to see the picture, do we? I mean, I would like to, so I know what I'm looking at.
Yeah,
that makes the picture really, really small.
I need to make this.
Mexican food is simple, as Zero says, protein, medium. So what you want that's dead and delicious, and what you want under it. Done and done. You're welcome. Yeah, Mexican food is easy and cheap here anyway. People charging, you know, however much for a taco over there is absolutely ridiculous considering how cheap the ingredients are. Worse music now. We're not going to be able to sleep tonight.
No.
Lone Wrench, the microphones do not work in the vehicle at all. It picks up all of the wind noise. It picks up everything that's going on in the vehicle, and you can't hear us. So, yeah, not gonna use them. No, the wheels on that Safari, I've seen those before. They're more like Porsche wheels, I think. Look up Porsches, like the 914. Those were there. Those were on that car. But they look good on that. But the yellow one is more of an off-road. It's got bigger wheels on it and stuff. Hey, Mohawk.
My question is, why do we have more people in the house on our side?
Yeah, right. Because it's Sunday night. Nobody's doing anything.
I guess.
Yeah, these Beetles that I put on here are like 97, 98, 99, 2000 models.
You want to bring over a chair?
You have to pay the taco tariff, yeah. Right. Yeah, the Safaris are 5 bolts. Uno. A lot of them are. The wide 5-bolt pattern. No, ask all the questions you want, Zero. Mrs. Spec will be able to answer them because I know nothing.
About?
Tech. What you're doing,
sure.
How you're doing it.
Sure.
All that stuff. So Zero, I asked you in the chat, are you working when we're live on Saturdays?
Why can't I?
Which is 1 o'clock your time? Because we're in mountain time now. You guys changed the clock, so you moved our time zone.
It's 1 o'clock.
I'll be right back. My phone is telling me I need to take my blood pressure pills. The orange one. Oh yeah, wasn't that a great picture? They had it out near a lake or something, and there was a little girl walking behind it. That's showing that they're actually using the car like it's supposed to be used. Your microphones have windsocks or sound buffer tech. I'm hearing echo. You're hearing the echo right now? We're using the microphone from the laptop right now. We don't have the microphones on because the volume was really low. You got rid of the sound thing?
Yeah, you want it?
Yeah, that's the only thing that's going to tell us if the sound keeps working. Otherwise, we're going to be talking to a wall if it stops. Well, we're on Saturdays. We're live, Zero, at 2 p.m. Mountain, which is 1 o'clock your time, showing all kinds of different cars and having great discussions. So, can you guys see the pictures good? Well, I should speak English well, huh?
Yes, it's good.
Can you see the pictures well? Good quality? Why can't you hear me, Jay? We have the music next door. If I don't say anything, the music is almost as loud as I am. I'm watching it's about a half as loud as I am. So maybe that's messing with the microphones or what it's hearing or whatever. It was loud.
Let me put it down just a touch.
No.
No, just a touch.
How about everybody else? Does the audio sound loud? I'm trying to talk over the music next door. The wall of our house is right there. There's no other wall to their house. Our wall meets up against their patio. So they have all their parties and whatever. There's not even a party. There's no cars outside. They're just playing the music to bother us. That's all they're doing. I think the husband plays the music so he doesn't have to go inside to see his wife. Honestly, he stays in the carport by himself, and I don't blame him at all. Audio is low now. We'll just keep it up, and if they want to turn their audio down, they can turn their audio down.
Okay.
So, Mopar Dan finally sent me the email.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's for a Wagoneer that I published 3 years ago, 2022. But I'll see if it's available still. Sure, I'll send it to you on your email. I put up a thumbnail, some hours before, or like this last time I did it 50 minutes before, and I send out the messages. It's always an interesting. We have different cars every week. I have to find like 620 pictures and videos, some videos, to get 2 hours of watch time, and then Mrs. Spec has to put it in the system and then make them 12 seconds each. So we both have work to do. Yeah, Zero. He said he sent me a message yesterday on my live, and I went and there was nothing there. It wasn't in my spam either, and I guess he hadn't sent it or something, so he sent it. I mean, the Wagoneer he wants is a really, really, really nice Wagoneer, like you could eat off the engine compartment. But it was 3 years ago. No, I need more than that. I need this, the cholesterol, and the other pieces over there. Yeah. So I didn't even know I had that one published, but he may have found it somewhere else. I don't know. But it's a very, very nice Wagoneer in silver. A lot of the Wagoneers here are pretty nice, but they're all 6 cylinders, mostly stick shifts, and very few options. And I know people like to have all their options, the power windows and everything else on them. The sound is better, Lone Wrench? Huh. I wonder why.
Is it one of each?
One from here. You always wanted a Beetle? Fastback. Yep. You have your Dodge Dart. So you can't add a Volkswagen to that. Why is the bottom tall pan so bulbous on the newer Beetles? Is it for a larger muffler or cat? I don't know. I don't know. The newer Beetles have fuel injection, which is like throttle body because it looks the same as the carburetor just with a plug on it. So they probably do have sensors and stuff on the system. I asked my mechanic, can you take a car that didn't have the fuel injection and put fuel injection on it? And his eyes glazed over. He's an old school mechanic, so I'm going to have to ask somebody else. I don't know how many sensors they have on those Beetles to control the fuel injection and all that. I don't know how the whole system works, and I'm not sure I want to know how the whole system works. Yeah, Johnny, that's what everything was here. The vehicles were not luxury vehicles here. Even the top of the line Fairmont that I got for Lester LeSabre, I was lucky to find one with power windows and stuff. It even had a power seat. But even the top of the line model, most of them that I find have roll up windows. You know, people just didn't want that stuff, or the dealers didn't order it, or the factory didn't make it, or whatever it was. But they're just not out there. Uno says, did we get any fruits or popsicles or ice cream or agua fresca?
Where?
Uno said that.
Yeah, but where?
I'm assuming us. Yeah, here.
I got fruit. I got dates recently. They're really good. I really love dates. I got blueberry and pear.
At Zero, you're talking about the 1970 model that is the bigger one like that, right? That was up to, well, in Mexico it was 73 or 72. Because in Mexico the 1967 design continued to 1969, and I think 70 and 71 maybe had those taillights, and then they went to the big ones. But the big lens in Mexico is different than the big lens in the U.S. In the U.S., it has two squares for the marker light, for the nighttime light, and the brake light, and the Mexico ones are horizontal. So it's not why they didn't make it the same. I don't know. They just wanted to be different. I don't know. Pineapple with caramel. It will change your life. I don't want my life changed.
I don't really like pineapple. It makes my mouth itchy.
I've never dealt with a fuel injected Beetle, and I don't know how much easier it is to start, because Beetles are usually very easy to start, or how much better it runs, or how much better gas mileage it gets, or whatever. I don't know. But you know, from 1994 on, they were fuel injected, and disc brakes in the front, which they didn't have before that. A friend had a '67 Bug in high school with the smallish taillights. Yeah, the small taillights and the glass over the headlights, or what 67 had the regular headlights. I'm not sure. Everything is different here. They didn't change the things as fast as they did in the U.S. And I'm sure there were reasons they changed it in the U.S.
I'm sorry, Jay.
Lone Ranch is better now than when you were using a microphone. Something with a microphone making it weak. I think it's the noise from over there, on the other side of the wall.
They're not really good microphones either. I just bought them because they were cheap and we needed microphones.
Yeah, with the quality, they look pretty good. So Johnny says there was a time when power options were cool, but they all eventually fail. I appreciate my '67 Malibu with manual top crank windows and no AC. Yeah, well, you say that, but every old Cadillac I ever bought from the '60s, everything always worked. I bought it when I was like, I don't know, 16 or something. I bought a '67 Cadillac that was in pretty bad condition, had been hit from the back. It was a sedan DeVille, it was from Utah, didn't have a title or anything. Everything worked in that car, the power windows, the automatic headlights, and the automatic dimming headlights. Everything worked in that thing. It was not cared for at all, but everything worked. So, General Motors, I will take power windows. Ford, not a chance in heck. Oh man, I remember the Mexican ones. Everywhere a taxi in Mexicali and San Luis, Colorado. Yeah.
San Luis Rio, Colorado.
Yeah, put the Rio in there, sure.
That was the 68 was the last small oval light in Oz. 69 got the flat bottom in red/amber. 71 gained a white reverse light. Then about 75 we got the huge oval, almost round light.
Yeah, they're almost round, yeah.
Barracuda.
Hey, Barracuda. Haven't seen you in a while.
And uno says, I need some of those rear pop-out windows, por favor, Lucia. Can you hook your favorite snowman up? What rear pop-out windows?
On the Beetle you're talking about? That could probably, do you have a Beetle? That could probably be arranged. Did that Beetle have pop-out windows? I don't know what year they stopped the pop-out windows because the newer ones don't have it. It's weird. Yeah, Zero, but how many window regulators have you replaced on the manual windows? They strip, or like the newer ones have a plastic belt going through it or whatever. They don't always work. Not always. Hey Patrick, thanks for joining us. We're just testing the program to make the live better for you. But yeah, I guess it's working because you can hear us, you can see the images, and yeah, it seems to be working, which is what we'll use on Saturday. Hey, Will the Trill, welcome. We're just testing out this program here to make the images look better because when we saw them on the live, you could see lines running through them and stuff because my phone was recording the television, which was broadcasting the pictures from the laptop, so it was too many levels down the road.
Yeah, so many steps and we don't really have good.
Yeah, you're right, Barracuda. Manual crank, manuel. Johnny says, in my youth, I had a fully loaded SSRS convertible. I had to fix a few things. I should have kept it, but who knew? I knew. I never sold any of my cars. Unfortunately, they stayed in the U.S. when I came here. At zero. My Nissan hardbody, I hate that name. We'll call it a D21 then. Also had manual crank windows, no power locks, 5-speed. I can get you a 4-door version of that. And they're legal to import too. Not into California, but still.
Well, the trail set sounds pretty good and the image looks good.
Good. I'm glad. You can see more detail without all the interference and stuff. So we're taking baby steps, trying to make things better. This is one of the cars I'm trying to sell to Chris in New York. He hasn't decided on what car that he may want to buy or not, because he went to look at a Fiat 500 by him. But we'll see. Coming up soon, because I put them all together, is a car like this. This is called a Chrysler Phantom in Mexico. There's a Phantom with a dual overhead cam engine under the hood, which they never did in the U.S. They only put it in Mexico, and very few. So to find one is very rare. It's got the dual overhead cam, it's got the 5-speed. It's a pretty decent car for a pretty decent price. This car here only has 45,000 miles on it, this blue one. And yes, it has different wheels on it, but the seller says you could have either set of wheels, either from the front or the back. Jay, you know who Chris is. You call him Chris Rock every time you see him. Zero says, when I sold restoration parts to Classic Industries, the RS hidden headlight upgrade swapped to electric. Makes the original ones easy to spot. Yeah.
Kim Passable here?
Kim Passable, welcome. It's working, and it's working well. I am surprised.
Hey!
No, not you. These programs.
Oh, okay.
You know, tech does not work out for me. You like the full front windows, Uno, in a Beetle? I don't. They never look right. Maybe the some wide 5 Safaris, Forest Gulf 914 Cube. Maybe I'll just come visit in January. You have fun then. You can sleep in a dog's room with the dogs.
Hey. Will says, I really like the 1983 Ford Fairmont you have for sale.
Will, is that the Fairmont Elite? Because if it's a regular Fairmont, it has a V6 under the hood. V6 and a 4-speed. The V8 cars only had a 3-speed on the floor. Figure that one out.
Zero says, because the upgrade fixed the factory, the line little door at OG.
Yeah. There was one here. Don't you remember going to a shop and it was a, I don't remember what shop, but it was a Camaro. It was a Camaro with a hidden headlight. Wasn't? I think it was Ramon's shop. A long time ago. He had one there. Hola, Danny Boyd. So we're doing a whole live here, huh?
So we're just supposed to pop in and out.
Yeah.
The video not just.
What time is it? 9:20. In 10 minutes, I'm going to take my pudding out of the freezer and put it in the refrigerator.
Okay.
Or it's going to be hard as a rock.
Remind me of it for you.
Yeah, OBS seems to be working well. I can, you can choose what's on the screen here, because I want to see the audio to make sure it's continued to work, because I don't trust anything. And then the image is up in the corner, the comments are here in this corner, and there's choices here in this corner. Because we have it on the television, we're kind of like Buff and Kim now. We're looking at a television screen with the comments, and I can actually see them. I can see the words, I can read them. It's that bad, Barry? The audio is that bad? You guys notice something about these Volkswagen GTIs that's different from the US model? Yeah, full front windows are very cow look. Do you want the cow look? Because I thought that went out like, I don't know, in the late 90s.
What is cow look?
The California look of the Beetle, the front windows, the pop outs, the front end is lowered just a tiny little bit. I have so many stories from our trip up north. I have to do a video, but I'll tell you a short one, and this falls under the category of everything happens for a reason. Now, we've been to the border many times, and especially early in the morning when you pull into the first military revision, it's cold or whatever, they just wave you through. Well, sounds like the mic you were talking into. I'm not talking into a mic. We only have one mic going, and that's on the laptop right now. Yeah, so. Okay, so we leave at 4 o'clock in the morning. Usually we get to the military revision and they just wave us through. Well, I'm towing the. How does it sound? Okay, so we're not going to soundproof the whole room. Sorry, can't do that. So we leave at 4 o'clock in the morning, on schedule, everything, right? Get on the highway, no problem. Heading up the highway, we get like 82 kilometers up the highway, which is where the military inspection is. The first guy we pull up to, he says, pull over there to the right into secondary. We pull over there into secondary, and the first guy we talk to over there, he says, what are you doing here? Well, the guy over there told us to pull in here. He says, this is only for buses, right here. So, I don't know. He told us to pull over here. So, the guys, I think they felt obligated to look over the Omega because they went and looked at it. They got up on the trailer and everything. I get out of the truck and I was going to go open the door to the Omega for them, and I touched my pocket. I didn't have the keys with me. I left them at the house. So they finish everything. I tell the guy, sorry, I can't open it for you. I don't have the keys with me. And they said, no problem. You can go. So we had to go down the road, find the way to get to the other side, go back home another 82 kilometers, and we're talking about bad roads, talking about huge potholes and everything, and it's dark. So I get off the highway. There's a mall right there. I park in front of the mall. Mrs. Spec gets an Uber, goes home, gets the keys, comes back. In the meantime, something attacked my stomach, so I had to run into the mall to use the bathroom. I come out, and we get in, and now we're 3.5 hours behind schedule. But if we hadn't been stopped at that place, for me to realize that I didn't have the keys, we would have been 12 hours away in Nogales before I realized that. So this falls under the heading that everything happens for a reason. This is the dual overhead cam engine I was telling you about. This Phantom here. Very, very nice car for the money. Very nice. So I have to do a video on how many. Can you see how many people are here? It says there's 16. Okay, it says there's 16 here. So I got to do a video with all of the stories because the stories do not stop. We were put into secondary not once but twice on this trip, and it has never happened before with any of the vehicles. None. It was just with this Omega on the trailer. Yeah, and I took a Beetle up on the trailer. We got stopped in the first one. The guy was trying to get money from me, I guess. Mrs. Spec said I totally blew it off. I said, you want to look at the Beetle? He says, no, I don't care. He just, whatever. So, yeah, so many stories on this trip. But I guess the buyer liked what he got, liked how I treated him and everything, because he wants another one right away. And that one lives in Chihuahua, the state of Chihuahua. And that's going to be a fun one because we will fly to the state, and the owner agreed to bring it to the big city of Chihuahua. And from there, I'm going to put it on a train. We're going to also get on the train. There's a passenger area of the train, and there's a cargo area of the train. And it's going to deliver us right to our door here at the train station in front of my friend's house. So there's not going to be any highway driving or anything like that. It's going to be perfect. Perfect situation. So we're going to see how that goes. But this apparently is a busy time for everybody because this customer and another customer say, I really can't get back to you, so because it's really busy. So.
Mike Anderson?
Yeah, Mike hasn't been here.
Oh, I didn't know. I haven't been.
How do you know I have 2 dogs, Mike? Yes, back in time. It's only half a Cybertruck, actually. The back half is whatever you want it to be.
Give me sound for a second.
Huh?
Give me sound for a second. Okay.
You guys can hear the music, right? Are you guys singing along? Are you singing along yet, Zero? I don't know any of these songs and don't want to.
Is the sound still okay for you, or do we still sound weird?
You turned up the sound here in the program, but what about in the computer?
It wouldn't matter.
No?
No, this is the microphone.
Have you cleaned off the microphone inlet?
No. I don't know what it is. I wish I go to dog audio mixer. So we'll be able to see the microphone device, and there is a slight button increase.
Yeah, we do that, but we're looking at the screen right here with the graph, and when I'm talking, it's going all the way up to I don't understand the numbers, but it's going quite a ways up. So the microphone is picking up what I'm saying. However, it's transmitting it to you, I'm not sure. You saw a Holden Maloo Ute converted to left-hand drive. Are you sure it was a Holden and it wasn't a U.S. spec vehicle that parts were used to make it into the Ute? Did you look at the VIN to see where it was made? Well, that wouldn't help because the U.S. cars were made in Australia too.
It is picking you up, but it just sounds horrible.
It doesn't sound that bad in here. We're gonna have to work something out with that somehow. We don't have any other microphone though.
No. I have one that is not super expensive, but it's not super cheap either.
You mean on the list?
Yeah, on the list.
Sorry guys, this is what you got. Well, we're only using the mic that's in the laptop, so that's the best we have right now. Can you hear Mrs. Spec better than me? Say something.
Should I sing?
No. Definitely no.
Oh
but
yeah.
Speak at the how I'm speaking. Project a little bit to see if they can.
I hate when people say something because I always go blank. I don't know what to say.
It would vary, but do you think they would have transferred it over to left-hand drive, or they would have used an American car that was already left-hand drive and made it into a Ute with the parts from wherever? Mike, they don't have that mic hooked up, so I don't think that would help. My father used to have one of those too. I remember it sitting right next to the CD unit in the back room.
Thanks, Cam. I know. I'm just. I saw a video right before I started doing this, just to test it. That's why we started the stream. I was just supposed to be testing it to see how it looks.
Right.
We weren't expecting people to actually show up.
And if we have the air conditioning on, that's going to be a little bit more noise. It's going to be blowing over here, but nothing like this music next to us.
No.
I don't know how we're going to get to sleep tonight. Oh, 9:30. Got to pull the pudding out of the freezer and put it in the fridge. Eat it later. Which car, Johnny? I'm looking at a truck. A yellow and green truck. There's a lot of very nice vehicles here, but there's not really a customizing car culture here. I guess it's more with the European cars and the front wheel drive stuff, because that generation has it a bit easier than the previous generation, so they put money into those cars. But I can find you 10 Plymouth Dusters right now that look like they just came out of the factory and they have not been modified at all. They just are cared for. Slant sticks under the hood, 3 on the tree, nice original interior, all of that stuff. Very hard to do that in the U.S. because everybody's modified them to death. And that goes for a lot of cars too, a lot of other cars, not just the Dusters. Life is crazy. So we're going to have to brainstorm on this mic thing. These are pictures from last week, from Saturday, from yesterday. Oh, it was yesterday.
It was yesterday?
Yeah.
I didn't close them.
Make it easy to work on, Zero. Very easy.
When?
The split hood, you put up one side or the other, that's how you want to look. You want to work on. Why would Holden plan an El Camino, Tabo, if they already had the Ute? Were they just gonna change the name? We tried the external mic, Mark. There's no guarantee that's gonna work.
It's one of the best microphones out there.
Yeah, but there's no guarantee that it's gonna help us in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
We already spent that money on your cooker. Well, Zero, the El Camino wasn't selling. The Ranchero wasn't selling. So why would they bring out another one for it not to sell? We'll do some testing, Mark, and see what we can come up with. See what we can do. When there's no music next door, maybe the microphones are going to pick up our voices a bit better. Because on the other live, yesterday I had the microphone right on my shirt, and there was no complaints about the sound or the level, or that I was sitting in a box somewhere, a metal box. Wrong side towel. Hudson? I don't think so. I don't think it's a Hudson truck. Uno. Scams or swingers? The notchbacks. Did you get them or just a fastback? We don't have a fastback. We have the coupe with longer runners on the rear roof. I wouldn't call that a fastback. It's like the 69 Chargers. Those aren't fastbacks either.
Okay, so do you have wireless lapel microphones you can hook up? It's not the microphone. That's what we had at the beginning. That's literally what we had at the beginning. We have cheap lapel stereo microphones, and that's what we had issues with. I want to buy DJI lapel microphones, but we just spent a bunch of money right now, so I can't afford it.
That's what we had on when we first started this, and then we were told that we can't hear. You want to hook it up again?
Yeah, let's
do a test on the other microphone. Yeah, Zero, we can. Any comment inside the YouTube studio, I can make somebody a mod. Any comment on any video. And I told Kathy that, but she didn't do anything about it. I also told TK about it on his new channel, and he didn't do anything about it. But we'll figure it out. But it has to be inside the YouTube studio. I don't know if she uses her phone to answer the comments. Yeah, make him on.
Oh.
At Zero. I hear he's a really good mod. I hear that. I heard that somewhere. Managing. Heard that somewhere. We're in a union. We have to stick together. Are you on these mics?
Sure thing.
But look, when I talk, it's not going up as high as the laptop. Look at the graph.
Yeah.
Oh, you're looking at the graph.
Wow.
It's not going up as high. I can speak louder, and then I would have to be yelling all the time, but these mics are not picking up the sound like the laptop. It's less like that much. You can't see it, but I'm holding my fingers up. Did I explain what you're doing? I don't know what you're doing. That's my explanation.
Well, ask if the sound is different.
Are you guys looking at this Volkswagen van that's on the screen?
That's not what I asked you to ask.
What did you ask me to ask?
If the sound is different.
Is the sound any different from before? It's quieter. It is quieter. But does it still sound like I'm in a tin box? Jay says check computer settings for microphone input.
Okay.
Oops. She's doing that, but it just took over the screen, so I can't see what you're doing. I saw you come in, Tanner. Welcome. We're doing a test on this program, this software to show the pictures better. So I can't see what anybody's saying.
I know what the problem is.
What?
I know what the problem is. 1 second, guys. 1 second. I know what the problem is. I know what the problem is. I'm an idiot. That's what the problem is.
What? What did you do?
I had the speaker on this whole time. So the speaker also has a microphone.
So we were going through the speaker?
Yeah. 1 second, guys. Let me check.
And she did this on a live.
Well, I wasn't expecting to do a live. I was listening to music.
We're working on it, guys. I can't see what you're saying, but hopefully you're not saying anything bad about me. Because we will check that. Mono audio? Which microphone is it? USB, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, does this sound any better?
100% better.
100.
Thank you. It was my problem. I'm so sorry. it was the before I started the live, I was listening
You don't have
to
to.
music.
You don't have to yell now. It's much better.
I'm sorry. Before I started the live, I was listening to music, and I had a speaker, a wireless speaker going.
Hi, Buff. Buff just had to turn the sound down.
Which also has a microphone on it to answer calls and whatnot.
That's what everybody does to me, Tanner. It's the story of my life.
And I didn't realize that I didn't turn it off when I started the live because I was too excited to test it because it was just a test. I didn't
now
figure.
look how far up the graph is going now. Yeah, you guys should hear us way better now.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to that Volkswagen van. Did you see how much they wanted for it at the beginning? The asking price is 3,700,000 pesos. Yeah, Buff is here. 3,700,000 pesos they want for that windowed van.
Let me try something. I'm gonna turn on the air because I'm a little hot.
I'm the only one that has a microphone in my hand. I'm putting it over to her when she says something. The submarine has surfaced, Barry said.
Oh.
Yes, Tavo says yes. Turned it down half volume here now and coming out evenly through both speakers.
I'm sorry, guys.
And Jay says Mrs. Spec sounds like she's right next door. The only problem is now you're going to hear that stupid music next door even louder. Although it sounds like they turned it down. Yeah, figure that out, Jay. 3.7 million pesos at 18 point. Today was Friday was 18.30. Just put 18.30. That's how much they want for that van. The other van that either has shown or will show is 480,000 pesos, which I hear is a decent price. $202,000, Buff. Wow. I won't even offer that. I'm not having that kind of money run through my account. The IRS here will be all over me. No thanks. They turned the music down, Tavo. Why? I don't know. Maybe the wife yelled at him. She wants to go to sleep. I don't know. You don't want to hear this music in your head, Jay. Hopefully he'll go to sleep soon because he has to go to work tomorrow at the Nissan dealer. Really, Dan? You're saying that with Buff here? He has more modern seats in the Valiant that he's cutting up. I have Nissan bucket seats in my 63 Plymouth Savoy. Wasn't my choice. Was not my choice. I bought the car like that. And that means your head is almost hitting the roof when you're sitting in it. And that's because they put flat metal in the floor when it's supposed to be there's supposed to be a lower floor in there. That's all work I have to do after I get the front end fixed up again after that guy hit me.
Buff Del Campo says this picture show is so good. Thank you, Buff. Actually, your constructive criticism is the what made me look into this because I want to make good streams for you guys.
You emailed me, Uno? I'll look at it when I get out of here. Now we have competition. This looks and sounds better than our stream. I don't think so, Kim. I don't think so. No way. You have many screens. You have lots of TVs to look at. Yeah, well, you probably have your stock floor in there. This car doesn't have the floor was rusted out, so they just put flat metal in there. And then they bolted the seats to that flat metal. So it doesn't have a footwell, doesn't have any of that. But that's down the road. When I get a shop open, the green wagon goes in first because we got to get rid of all the rust on that one. Oh, here's the Volkswagen van that's 480,000 pesos. I don't know where the turn signals are on it. It may have the semaphores. I'm not sure. So modern seats and a 69 Fairlane. I grew up in a 68 Ford Galaxy, Tanner, the back seat, two-door hardtop, and a neighbor, 1, 2, 3 houses down, they had a 68 Fairlane two-door hardtop that was their family car for a while. So it was like the baby version of what we had, except it was the seafoam green like they all were. It's like the sound is being picked up by the mic from the speaker. I have no doubt you'll get it figured out. It is still?
The speaker's off now. Not on. You can't even pick up the sound, the music.
Nope. This microphone is not picking up the music at all. He turned the volume way down.
Who's Bob Barker?
He was the host of The Price is Right for many, many, many years. Don't forget to spay and neuter your animals. Okay, so now we have that dialed in for next Saturday. If everything goes right. Is that a McLaren, Dan?
One thing that I don't know what's gonna happen.
I don't know. In the back, probably. It's the kind of place that has these kind of cars, but nobody ever buys them here. You'd have to be nuts to drive a McLaren in Mexico.
One thing that I don't know what's gonna happen is what's gonna happen when a video comes up, because the slideshow is supposed to be 12 seconds.
Yeah.
But the video is longer than 12 seconds. So I don't know what's gonna happen when a video comes up.
Well, we'll have to test it then.
Yeah, that's literally what I was doing when you came in.
Well, there's gonna be videos on here. Yeah, but they're at the end, so we're not gonna wait 2 hours to go for another 2 hours just to watch a video. Can you advance it?
Yeah, I don't know what the videos are.
They're towards the end. Well, I guess it would be depending on the year of the vehicle.
We're halfway
through. We've been on here an hour already?
No, I was watching it before you came in. Look at the
the number of yeah. Okay. So we're at 328 and there's 661. Okay.
One of those we're getting a shop?
That's the plan, Uno. I would like to have a restoration shop that restores Beetles for sale in the US, and all of the mini trucks we have here. The Datsuns, Toyotas, Ford Couriers, Chevy Loves, all of the mini trucks that used to be over there. S10s, not so much. And Ford Rangers, not so much. But all of the Japanese mini trucks that we have here, just your little short bed, two-wheel drive, or long bed, two-wheel drive, whatever. Make them nice and send them back over there. because they all came in here in the early 2000s, like 2001. The border was open for any open bed pickup truck because there was a lack of pickups here and people needed them here. So the government opened up the border. You could bring in any pickup you wanted up to a certain year. I think it had to be at least 8 years old. That's the rule here. It has to be 8 years old to be able to bring it in, and then get it legalized. So people brought in every pickup around. The mini trucks, the big trucks, the medium trucks, everything came in at that time, and they're still here. So this this Ford, I cannot sell to anybody. It's not allowed to be crossed. It's not allowed to cross the border. Sound is 100% better than the start. Yes, spay and neuter your animals. Your next contestant on The Price is Right. Now, once it gets to the engine compartment, you'll see why I'm not allowed to sell this truck to anybody, which is a shame because it's a beautiful truck. You'll notice in the pictures, you can see the reflection of the people, and that shows you how clean the paintwork is on it. But when it gets to the engine compartment, you'll see, Dan. It is a beautiful truck. The red goes great with the black. You open the door and you're slapped in the face with all the red. That's why, Dan. The US EPA will not allow a vehicle to cross if it has an engine switch in it. A different kind of engine, a different engine in it. It has to be something that came in that car from the factory. So, I had two people looking at some Wagoneers that had V8s in it. One was a Ford 302 and the other was a Ford 351. I can't sell them. They're not allowed to cross. So anyway, we are getting set up to ship cars from our port of Veracruz to Jacksonville, Florida. So everybody on the East Coast will be able to pick up their cars in Jacksonville, Florida. And no, that doesn't happen, Jay.
Why?
You open the door and Mrs. Spec slaps you.
Why would I slap you?
I said you open the door and the red slaps you in the face. Just the red. So I'm getting in contact with the buyer that bought the Volkswagen Beetle from me because he buys cars from Japan. And that ship comes over to where we are, to Los Angeles, and then down to Mazatlan, I think. And then it goes through the Panama Canal and heads over to Jacksonville, Florida. He has a company or a guy that picks up the vehicles for him at the yard. It's the customs yard, and has them delivered to Tennessee. So that guy already knows the system of how everything works. So maybe I can start working with the guy and I can have it sent over to Jacksonville, Florida. All the fees are paid and everything. He goes in there, picks it up, and delivers it to whoever it is on the East Coast. Because I have a guy in New York that wants the 72 Super B, and the guy on the red Fairmont wagon that is in here. Everybody's asking me, how can I get the vehicle here? And Mopardin just asked me, how can he get the Wagoneer to New York? So I'm going to try to get that set up. And then I should be able to sell a lot more cars. Yeah, Zero, that's the customs agent will not it's not allowed. The Mexican vehicles on the factura, on the original invoice, it says what engine is in it. It says everything about it, every option that has everything about it, and it has to have that engine in it. Not the engine with those numbers, but a similar engine. They're not going to look for numbers on an engine, but a Chrysler V8 is a Chrysler V8 under the hood. But every Wagoneer in Mexico had an inline six. There were no V8s here. So I can't take a V8 Wagoneer to the border and say, hey, cross it, because they're not allowed. It's not the DMV over there, it's the EPA, and the vehicle has to conform with EPA regulations. So we have to live by that. Dan, if you do that, then you can't register it over there because you have no documents. You need the customs document showing that you paid the tariff and everything was fine, and it's stamped at the border by the customs agent. by the customs the customs agent, and then you take the Mexican paperwork and the customs paperwork to your DMV with a VIN inspection, except for in Tennessee, and you get your plates and your title. So you don't want to try to get around anything. You just follow the rules, and everything is fine. There's plenty of Wagoneers here that, I mean, you open the door and it looks brand new inside, and it's all original because they had those seats that had like support for your legs. It was kind of like higher for your legs. I've seen so many of them that they're all original interior and they're all in good condition. You may need a little bit of paint work or whatever, but and then of course there was a special option package that was only for Mexico called the Alpina, and I think I put one of them in here. But the guy flipped his picture backwards, and because the name Alpina, I hope he did. The name Alpina is backwards on the side of the truck. So anyway, so Alpina gave you the white wagon wheels and a better interior and some other things, and the U.S. truck was not available with that. The Chrysler Aerocar, or however it's spelled, they called it unit body, frame chassis as one. If you've not seen it, do that. So we've got a lot of things in the fire, but if I can get that set up for shipping over there, I have to contact my representative at the shipping company because I completely forgot how to figure out the shipping. There's calculations on width, height, and length. You figure that out and you calculate this and calculate that, and then you add this in, and that's how much it's going to be to ship it over there. And it came out not too much, but the customs agent is $900 because did you ever ask, when we deliver the vehicle, do we deliver it to them, to their office, and then they take it over there to the port?
I didn't know, but I think it
Because
was like
that's
with the
that's
port.
that's the only way that it would be worth $900. Because I've already talked to the manager of the yard, and he says, well, you need a customs agent, as a representative, but you can bring the vehicle in here and I'll take it from you. So I think that's what it is, because to move it, because she said move it around and do this and do that, they're charging money for that. So it's all new to me, all this stuff. So we're trying to get all the questions answered, and I have more questions and more questions and more questions. And we're looking for the first one that wants to do it with the shipper, so we can go do that and learn how it works. But it comes out to be about the same, like that Chrysler Phantom with the dual overcam engine. For me to drive it back to where I am and then take it to the border here, it costs the same as taking it to the port, which is 400 kilometers, I think, from Mexico City. Take it to the port and pay all the fees, and then we have to get home somehow. And that's the issue, because there's no direct flights from Veracruz to where we live. So we have to find a flight to here to there, and then maybe a bus to here to there, and then maybe back over here. So we're figuring that out. So hopefully I'll be out buying more cars that way. The real law here for 1932 hot rod highboy fiberglass body: somehow get around new construction, new vehicle safety regulation, registration, seat belts, etc. The new cars need everything, etc. Buff 64 Ford looks better with the stock wheel cover. Yeah, obviously. Those wheels probably are not on the car. They just, for some reason, they take pictures of what you're not going to get and put it in the ad. It's midnight. Oh yeah, you're 2 hours out, 2 hours later than us. Good night, Jay. Thank
Hi, Jane.
thank you for popping in here. Hey Kevin, how's the warden? We were just doing a test here on this software program, so you guys get better images of the vehicles, and you can see it more clearly. Yeah, those are the little tail lights on the Beetles. There's a Beetle here, a 2001 model Beetle here in my town, that looks, they put, I guess, the older fenders on it or something, or they filled in the big hole where the big taillight was, and then they put the 1970 taillights on it. But I'm looking at it from the back. I'm going, well, let's see, that taillight is lower than that one, and that one's kind of crooked and nothing lined up back there. If you're going to do something, why not do it right? It's obvious. It's obvious the taillights are in the wrong place. And I'm not going to buy a vehicle and then have to take them off and do all that and paint and everything else. So, oh man. How's the warden, Kevin? Is she asleep? They're probably not white walls, Kevin. They sell inserts that you put it on the tire and then you put the tire on the rim and then fill it with air. And then but when they get old, they start peeling back and they look terrible. They look terrible when they're old. But when they're new and pliable, they stick to the tire and they look pretty decent. I would just rather buy real white wall tires, like the ultimate the last edition had. It had real white wall tires on it in the beige or the baby blue. And people keep saying, well, I'd like to have one of the last editions. And I said, well, that's not going to be available until July of 2003. No, no, 2023, because they were all made in July of 2003, even though they're 2004 models. Their VIN is 2004. I made sure to check that. The VIN does say it's a 2004 model, but they were all made in the factory in July of 2003. So I can't get one. I can't send one over the border until July of 2023. But when it starts getting near that date, the prices are going to go even higher than they are because everybody in the US is going to want one legally. I have white striped tires on my Oldsmobile wagon, makes it look sharp. I get compliments everywhere I go. I hope you're talking about white wall tires, not white striped tires. We call them white walls. There's white walls, there's black walls, and there's raised white letter. I just put this in here for the heck of it. A Volkswagen Unimog. Oh, yeah. Do that. But it's, oh, yeah, 2028. Sorry, Mark. It's 25 years. 25 years it has to be. Yeah, zero. Too many people put the wrong width white walls on their cars. 65 was the worst because they had dual ring white walls that nobody ever made after that. When I was with a friend of mine, he used to take in hearses that were trade-ins. Um, when they bought a new coach, he had a friend that all over the country, and he brought my friend this 1965 Cadillac Superior in a sandalwood color with a leather front seat. I mean, it was a decked out car. It looked gorgeous, and it had the car was 20 years old because this was in 1985, and the car had a little over 20,000 miles on it. So the car had the original dual ring white wall tires on it that I had never seen before. I'd never seen a set of those before, and they were the 890 commercial tires. I mean, unbelievable. They were still on there. It was weird because the guy told the Superior company, he says, my funeral home is not Superior. I don't want your name on my car anywhere. So wherever they usually put the Superior badges, they kept them off inside and outside. It was a very unique car. We took that car zero to a Cadillac car show in San Marino, and it won nothing. It was the best original. It was the best modified. It was the best everything. And it won no trophies because it was a hearse. You want to know what won best modified? A 1959 Cadillac convertible with a Vega 4-cylinder engine in it. That won for best modified. That burned me bad.
can tell.
Yeah, I still remember it after all these years.
I can tell.
Yeah, man. But at least one good thing happened at that car show. There was a 1960 Eldorado 59. The 59 or 60 Eldorado Brougham. And we were standing there and talking to the owner. His name was David Fogg, Fogg. And he was telling us that he found this car in a garage in Beverly Hills. It was green on green on green, and he hated it. So he took it to a shop and he had it done in a dark red on the outside, gray leather interior with a the painted roof, the same color as the body. And I remember all this all these years later when I see a thing on the internet that this car is for sale. And it says, yeah, David Fogg is the old owner and everything. And the dealer that was selling it was trying to pass it off as an original dark red, gray leather interior car. And we all knew, you're right, Fogg. It's a good name. We all knew the story because I was standing right there when he told us that he found it in the garage and it was green. It was a green car. The codes on the car will tell you it's green. But this dealer kept trying to tell people it's an original car. It's an original car. It was made like this. No, and we all, everybody came out of the woodwork. No, it was born a green car, so his name has always been connected with that car in the Brougham registry. What a neat car that was. The car the body was made in Italy. Pininfarina made the body. Then they shipped it back to put the drivetrain in it. And the story goes that they were going to make 100 cars each year. Well, when they were loading the chassis onto the ship in Italy in 59, one fell into the water. So they had 99 in 59, and they made 101 in 60 to make up for it to have their 200 cars. But what a beautiful car those are. Pininfarina got rid of the ostentatious everything on that car, and the front windshield was not curved. And what you see in the 1960 Eldorado Brougham is what the 61 Cadillac came out like. What a beautiful car those are.
Dan had a question.
I don't have access to go back up. This was in the 80s, Dan. I don't know why he would do it, but he won Best Modified. The first car that was in the line was a V16 Cadillac Cabriolet. It was a 4-door convertible. And the guy had just restored it, but he restored it and then he drove it cross country and came back. And he had the car at this show. And I was watching kids get up on the running boards and they would grab onto the doors to look into the car. This was a very, very, very expensive car. A V12. No, it was a V16 Cadillac 4-door convertible. And these kids are getting up on the car because the parents aren't watching them and just, scratching up the paint and everything. Oh my God. Oh my God. Somebody had to get rid of those kids. That was a great car show. But San Marino is the rich area, like Beverly Hills is to LA. San Marino is to Pasadena, which of course everybody knows is called Pasadena. But you can't really say that in type. Pasadena. Can you buy red lines now? In radial tires? The 61s, Kevin, are the rarer model. There's fewer 61s made than other years because there was a strike in the factory that year. So fewer cars were made. They didn't make them all through the year because the factory was dormant for a while. So there's fewer 61s out there. But I kind of like the 61, even though the same friend had an absolutely showroom condition 62 formal limousine with the divider and everything. And we took that car everywhere. He wanted to. We went to the Pomona swap meet one time, and then he got this guy's phone number in Arizona that was selling a whole bunch of cars. So we got in the limo, and I was always the driver. And we took off. We went through Vegas. We took a right and went up to Arizona, and saw all the cars out there. The car that I remember most out there was a Mercury Turnpike Cruiser that had the antennas coming out horizontally from the front window, from the front roof. They're one on each side, and all of these, none of these had plates on them. They had some kind of special title that like they were waiting for to be registered again or something. I don't know. I never investigated that, but so then we're done with that, and we're heading back to LA in this car, and I'm just cruising along, and this car will do 90, 100 miles an hour all day long. It's absolutely gorgeous, of course, black, with the black leather front seat because it did have a divider window, and the gray brocade in the back, which is how all of them came if it was a formal limo. And this patrol car of some kind stopped me. He was border patrol because I was driving too fast. And he's like, "You want me to call the highway patrol to come and give you a ticket? You better slow down." So I slowed down a bit. But what a beautiful driving car that was. Absolutely gorgeous car. You can't beat a car like that on the highway. And it got a lot of attention too. He and I took that car out one time, and I don't know, it was to a little hot dog place or something. And there was this older woman that said, "You should be ashamed of yourself for driving a car that big and using so much gasoline." And I don't remember what my friend said to her, but she didn't like what he said. Karens are not new. Oh man, 10:10 here. So, is there anything else we need to fix for this on this live? Or we got everything? You got the pictures, you got the sound. We'll try not to make the same mistake next time. Right? Good night, Dan. Buenas noches. Pancakes make me repeat all day long. And not easily either. I think we're going to end this too, but I'm not sure how. Wrong one. Oh, okay. So we're going to say good night. You're right, Tavo. Test is successful. Zero, I'll send you a message a little bit before we go live, and hopefully you can join us. Here's an example of that duster I was talking about. 76 duster, just as clean as it can be, ready to go. That's the name of the program, Kevin. It means other things to us, but that's the name of the program. I don't know what it stands for. I knew it was going to be confusing to car people. Why would you call something else OBS?
That's why I put the word studio on it.
Yeah. So the 76 Duster, what?
When are you live again?
We're going to be live on Saturday at 2 p.m. Mountain Time. Are you in Central Time, Dan? If you are, then you're just 1 hour later than us. Open Broadcast Studio.
Obvious.
Okay, yeah. Anyway, if you guys notice on this Duster, it has a Valiant front end being a 76, but it has the Dart Sport rear end. And that's just how they came out of the factory here. And of course, it's a 3 on the tree. And it should not have a tough steering wheel, but it's good. So hopefully we'll see you there, Dan. Whether you're working or not, just take time to... You're in Eastern Time? Well, you can put it on your phone and give me the watch hours.
Stop it.
Here's the red Omega that the current customer still wants this one. There's just a few issues with it not having the original air box on it. We're going to try to fabricate something for that. But new tires, bunch of new engine parts, much better than the one I delivered to him this time. Well, Zero, it has the Valiant front end. It doesn't have the Dart front end. The Dart is the one that had the beaks on them. That's a Valiant, a Plymouth front end. So they every year they changed it. They mixed and matched every year. No, for 73 and 74 they had the same grill, but that was the only thing they ever did. Everything else, every other year they changed it. Every year they went. That sounds expensive to me, but that's how they did it. So this is the Omega that the customer wants. Much better quality, and I think it'll even come out cheaper than the one I got him last time. So I'm just waiting for his answer. There actually the video is coming right after this. The video of putting it into his garage. So let's see what happens.
Okay.
I really did not like driving the other Omega. Did not like driving it.
Nice thing for a box.
Mm-hmm. They only came in a few colors, so if they get restored, they need to be painted back to one of those factory colors. The green that I delivered was one of those factory colors. See, this one just has a little air cleaner on the top. It's missing the tube that comes up to the tube that goes through the roof. So that needs to be put on there. Hormiga. Yep, with a che. And on this one, the sides fold down, which they didn't on the other one. So he's gonna like that. But yeah, there should be a video right now, which is what we want to test to see if the sound on the video will come through to you guys.
Also, if the video will play for as long as the video is long, or only for the 12 seconds that the image slider decided.
Yeah. You're forgetting the R, Kevin. Hormiga. Come on, play the video already. What are you waiting for? Yep. Even Kim knows how to say it now. Tony can't learn, but Kim did learn. Where's the video? What happened? Check the instructions. Do you have the instructions manual?
No.
Well, we'll figure it out. Good night, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for being here. We really didn't plan this, but it was enjoyable. And I hope to have some nicer vehicles for you for next time. Good night, everybody.
Good night.